Hello and welcome to BlueAirways. On this channel I upload aviation related stuff, so if you like aviation, you should consider subscribing. The An-225, a legendary aircraft known for its size, with an okay start and a tragic finish that made aviation enthusiasts cry. This is the story of the An-225 Mriya. It is in the 1980s. The Soviet Union is in the process of the Buran program. It is hard work, but it was going okay. But there was a problem. The transport of the rocket and all the other parts of the rocket. Unlike the Americans who could just transport their rocket on trains and trucks and a lot of other ways, the Soviet Union only had one option, and that was transport by air. But the Soviet Union did not have any planes that was big enough to carry the rocket boosters, and all the other parts of the rocket. They needed a solution. They couldn't just sit around and do nothing. They decided to ask plane manufacturers if they could make something. When they asked the now Ukrainian company Antonov, they got some good news. Antonov would make them an aircraft for them. That plane, of course, being the An-225. Antonov came up with the idea of modifying the design of the already existing An-125, a very new plane at the time, having only made its first flight in 1982. The modifications to the An-125 design include adding two more of the Progress D18T engines, also powering the An-125, making the total amount of engines 6 engines. And another change to the design of the An-125 was changing the number of tail fins from 1 tail fin to 2 tail fins. This was so that the An-225 could carry things on top of its fuselage without interfering with the tail fins. If there was only one tail fin, carrying things wouldn't mean that air would not hit the tail fin in the same way as with the 2 tail fins. The space shuttle would simply interfere with the rudder and make it almost useless. The design of the An-225 meant that the space shuttle would not interfere with the rudder. The landing gear was also changed. The 24 wheels of the An-125 was not enough to carry both the An-225 and the parts it would be carrying. 8 more wheels was needed, taking the wheels from 24 wheels to 32 wheels. Yes, I counted the amount of wheels on both of the planes. On the ground, the nose wheels could be partially retracted to get the nose closer to the ground. This would make it easier to load cargo. This was called kneeling because it looked like the plane kneeled every time it did it. The first flight of the An-225 was on the 21st of December 1988. Originally, there was going to be made a few An-225s, but only one were built, with a half-finished one just laying around somewhere in Ukraine. When the Buran program was cancelled in 1993, the An-225 had no use. It just sat still for a long time, slowly being scrapped. But then Antonov got an idea. The idea was to repurpose the An-225 into an outsize cargo freight aircraft and use it to carry cargo for Antonov's airline called Antonov Airlines, which is a Ukrainian cargo airline owned by Antonov. The An-225 was then rebuilt. It had 2 world records, and that being 2 impressive world records. The first one being heaviest aircraft ever made. It was very heavy. The second one being largest wingspan. It was also known as the largest airplane ever, but it varies depending on what you take as largest. Wingspan, height, length, wingspan, weight, length, height, and a lot of other things could be what you take as largest. If you ask me what the largest plane ever made is, I would say the An-225. It had a max takeoff weight of 640 tons. That is a lot. The plane was loved by most people, but all good things must come to an end. On the 24th of February 2022, Russia invaded the airport where the An-225 was parked. The hangar with the An-225 in it was set ablaze. The plane was destroyed. The attack on Antonov airport lasted one day, from the 24th of February 2022 to the 25th of February 2022. The plane was destroyed beyond repair, but there is still hope for the An-225. Because Antonov and many other Ukrainians has said that they will rebuild it. Now they'll probably use the 60 to 70% built second An-225 to do this. It might take 5 years, but with the war in Ukraine, it might take a while before they will focus on rebuilding the An-225. Anyways, thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.